So you know those fancy restaurants, the ones with 17 forks? You've been there, right? Yeah, and the waiter, as if you've never encountered furniture before, he sort of pulls out the chair, doesn't he? And he's like, "Sir, this is a chair, it's where the sitting happens." And then he proceeds to pour out sort of an ounce of wine into a glass the size of a basketball, right? Yeah, I mean, I try to avoid those restaurants. They're not for me, you know. So, I'm from Britain, okay? So many Americans, I suspect, believe that I live in Downton Abbey. I can assure you that world is as unfamiliar to me as it might be to many of you. But to many people, that's how museums feel. When I was a kid, I didn't go to museums. My friends didn't go to museums either. For many, those institutions still feel like they're made by and for, if not a cultural elite, then certainly a middle to upper class clique. Imperial War Museum's mission is to understand people and help them to understand conflict. The experience of war, often the worst experiences of war, land disproportionately on people on the lowest incomes. But our museum still suffers from the same challenge that other museums face. Many people don't believe museums are for them. So what's AI's role in solving this problem? We have over 11 million images relating to war. When they were collected, often many decades ago, they contained little or no information. Thousands of them have no descriptions at all. In fact, one of them, it is just a photograph that has the word photograph written on the back. So if you need a photograph, don't worry, we've got one of those. We're now using computer vision to tell us what's in those photographs. In fact, we've been experimenting with that for years. 8 years ago, we uploaded a picture of a Supermarine Spitfire, and it would tell us that it's probably an aircraft. 5 years ago, it would tell us that there's a 98% chance it's a Spitfire. 2 years ago, it would tell us it's either a Mark 9 or Mark 11 Spitfire, and give us a nice natural language description of both. And today, it will tell us exactly which of the 24 marks of Spitfire it is, along with a nice description of the history of that mark. The pace of change is incredible, but there's still a lot more work to do. There are millions more images in museums and archives across the world, but those images tell the same narrow story. It's a white, middle-class Western story. It's like watching a movie about the whole world, but from one camera, through one lens, in just one spot. Often we only tell one side of a story because that's the only side we have. The problem is that whilst the minimum number of sides in a war is 2, the maximum is almost infinite. There are hundreds of more, millions of images sitting in boxes and basements and hard drives across the world, which will tell these stories from a myriad of perspectives. IWM works with a vast array of incredibly knowledgeable volunteers and contributors. And with their help, we've discovered millions of names of people involved in conflict. Now, with the help of AI, those contributors have invaluable new tools, and that opens up a new possibility. What if everyone could contribute their family's war stories, their photographs, their memories? What if real people added the heart behind them? AI enables us to link information together, to find new connections. It enables discovery and participation from people of all backgrounds across the globe. But the age of AI gives rise to misinformation, hallucinations, and sometimes even a refusal to talk about war altogether. Large language models seem to love certainty, but war is full of uncertainty. So the quality of the data and insight used to train AI about war is critical. It's crucial that the answers that AI delivers reflect the nuance and perspective required to truly understand it. AI is great for productivity. We've heard about that a lot over the last couple of days. Okay, Copilot will rewrite that email you wrote when you were angry. You know, the one that's going to get you fired. Yeah. In Britain, we don't have that problem. In Britain, if you're angry at someone in the email, instead of writing kind regards, you just write regards. It's absolutely brutal. There's no coming back from it. Look, I want your takeaway to be that AI can do so much more. For most nonprofits, your mission is to improve and potentially transform lives, often to save lives. AI's biggest impact will be here. Today, understanding the causes of war, the possible consequences, and the impact on people is more important than ever. Knowledge is for everyone and from everyone. And that's what museums should be about. And with that, whether you're a museum curator or an AI, it's okay to not have the answers. For example, I still don't know which fork to use in that restaurant, but maybe Copilot will help me figure that one out. Thank you.